As one of the most competitive leagues in the world, the NBA has seen many former superstars fall to the margins or even leave the league entirely in just a few short years due to injuries, age, or other factors. If we're talking about which player has declined the fastest in recent seasons, Ben Simmons is a name that can't be ignored. Simmons' impressive resume speaks for itself. After officially starting his NBA career in 2017, he achieved a lot in just 4 years. Rookie of the Year, All-NBA Team, All-Defensive Team, All-Star appearances, and a Steals title. Notably, the 2020-21 season was the peak of Simmons' defensive prowess. Not only did he make the All-Defensive First Team, but he also finished second in DPOY voting, just behind Rudy Gobert. Among the top 7 in voting, he was the only perimeter player, further highlighting his unique defensive abilities. His rapid accumulation of accolades clearly showcased Simmons' talent. However, in the following years, he experienced a sharp decline due to mental health struggles and back injuries. Last season with the Nets, Simmons posted the worst numbers of his career. Nevertheless, given the flashes of brilliance he once displayed, the Nets are not ready to give up on him, and he still has a chance to turn things around next season. So, just how good was Simmons during the 2020-21 season? Beyond his defense, was his offensive performance at a dominant level as well? Today, let's dive into the peak version of Ben Simmons in 2021. As early as the summer of 2019, following his All-Star selection during the 2018-19 season, Ben Simmons was already seen as the future of the 76ers by the team's management. Consequently, the 76ers swiftly extended his contract with a 5-year, $170 million max deal. In the following 2019-20 season, Simmons made his first career three-pointer and was once again named an All-Star, while also being selected to the All-NBA Third Team and All-Defensive First Team. Unfortunately, during a regular season game against the Wizards, Simmons dislocated his left kneecap, forcing him to miss the remainder of the season. This was obviously unsatisfactory for Simmons, who spent the offseason recovering and maintaining his game shape. Finally, in the 2020-21 season, he reached the peak of his career. That season, Simmons posted impressive averages of 14.3 points, 7.2 rebounds, 6.9 assists, 1.60 steals, and 0.60 blocks per game. Of course, stats don't tell the whole story. Let's break down his performance on both ends of the court that year. Offensively, Simmons didn't show much improvement compared to previous seasons. He maintained his unique playing style, functioning as a primary ball handler despite his interior player build. Thanks to his height, Simmons had an exceptional view of the court, allowing him to see plays develop more clearly than most guards. He also had a great instinct for rebounding, often grabbing defensive boards and immediately initiating fast breaks with pinpoint, full-court passes to his teammates. Simmons' presence made the 76ers' offense run smoothly most of the time. We can see Simmons' signature full-court passing ability in several key sequences. Take this play, for example. After grabbing a rebound, all 5 Pacers players had their eyes locked on Simmons. However, Simmons had already spotted Dwight Howard near the opposing basket. He instantly launched the ball over the heads of all 5 Pacers, and Howard finished the play with an easy dunk. The entire sequence took just 4 seconds from rebound to finish. Another example, Simmons grabbed a rebound and quickly accelerated. The Nets' defense didn't notice Harris sneaking down court. Simmons swiftly delivered a pass, and with the Nets' interior defense slow to react, Harris finished with a dunk. Such long-range passes were a common occurrence in Simmons' game, and compared to other quarterbacks like Kevin Love and Lonzo Ball, Simmons' personal ability to attack in transition was more threatening and kept defenses on edge. Due to his limited shooting ability, Simmons focused primarily on scoring within the paint, which required exceptional finishing skills. However, with his 6 feet 10 inches frame and 110 kilograms weight, combined with elite ball handling and explosiveness, once Simmons got going, he was nearly impossible to stop, as demonstrated by the following sequences. In this play, Simmons accelerates from the backcourt, and as he approaches the Hornets' half, he is the only player in position. 2 Hornets defenders collapse into the paint, but Simmons' height gives him a clear advantage over the smaller defenders. Taking a step inside the free throw line, Simmons gathers the ball without significantly losing speed. The help defense arrives too late to affect the play, and Simmons elevates to finish with a layup. Simmons' transition scoring isn't just effective against smaller defenders, he can finish even against taller ones. In the next play, Simmons brings the ball up court, facing Mavericks' big man Maxi Kleber. Showing no hesitation, Simmons opts for a strong drive to the basket. His explosive speed and strength give him an advantage, even against a larger defender like Kleber. Simmons powers through the contact and completes a dunk, perfectly showcasing his exceptional ball handling and raw power. Simmons' transition prowess isn't limited to his own scoring. He has a sharp court vision and is more than willing to create easy scoring opportunities for his teammates. In the following play, Simmons pushes the ball up court, and both he and Joel Embiid draw so much defensive attention that the Hornets collapse into the paint. Seth Curry, trailing the play, goes unnoticed by the defense. Simmons, with his exceptional court awareness, spots Curry in an ideal shooting position and delivers a precise bounce pass behind him. Simmons even uses his body to set a screen, giving Curry a wide-open look, which he capitalizes on with a three-pointer. Simmons and Embiid's fast break connection is one of the 76ers' signature plays. In this sequence, Simmons again brings the ball up court at high speed, facing LaMelo on defense. With a quick behind-the-back dribble, Simmons leaves ball out of position, forcing Terry Rozier to shift his focus onto Simmons. At that moment, Simmons dishes a perfect behind-the-back pass to the trailing Embiid. Rozier, unable to get into proper defensive position and severely undersized compared to Embiid, can only watch as Embiid finishes the play with ease. When the game slows down into a half-court setting, Simmons' primary scoring methods are post-ups and driving to the rim. Because Embiid has a respectable shooting ability, opposing defenses are often forced to stay attached to him, which opens up space on the floor. This gives Simmons more room to drive to the basket in face-up situations. For example, in this play, as Embiid crosses half-court and remains on the perimeter, Nets center Jarrett Allen is forced to follow him, leaving the paint wide open. Simmons quickly notices this. He lowers his center of gravity, makes a sudden change of direction, and blows past his defender with a single step. By the time Allen attempts to recover and protect the paint, it's too late, and all he can do is watch as Simmons powers in for a thunderous dunk. In another similar sequence, Simmons initially sets up in a post-up position while scanning the floor. Apart from Embiid, the other three 76ers players are spread out beyond the three-point line. Embiid moves laterally, attempting to set a screen for Simmons. Trailblazers center Enes Kanter, tasked with guarding Embiid, begins to shift along with him, leaving the paint unprotected. Sensing the opportunity, Simmons swiftly makes a left-hand drive, quickly getting past his defender before rising for a dunk, leaving the Blazers' defense helpless. Simmons' post-up game also showcases his ability to leverage his body and speed. In this particular play, Simmons finds himself against a much smaller Pistons defender. Backing his opponent down with physical contact, Simmons suddenly pivots to face the basket, catching the defender off guard. With the defender not fully elevated, Simmons finishes the play with ease. Beyond these methods, Simmons also possesses an impressive off-ball game. His elite athleticism and sharp instincts for rebounding allow him to exploit open spaces for alley-oops and putback opportunities. These scoring options help mitigate his limitations in terms of shooting, making him a more versatile offensive threat. Of course, in addition to his strong offensive performances, Simmons' defense during his peak was truly his most lethal weapon. In fact, during the 2020-21 season, Simmons was leading the DPOY race for much of the year. It wasn't until the latter part of the season, as the Jazz secured a better record in the West, that Gobert surpassed Simmons. Despite this, Simmons still finished second in the DPOY voting and received 15 first-place votes. Let's take a closer look at Simmons' defensive dominance. First, his exceptional shot-blocking ability stands out. In the 2020-21 season, Simmons was arguably the best player in the league at blocking three-point shots. His height and wingspan created a defensive net that made it difficult for opponents to find clean shooting windows in his presence. Take these two sequences as examples. In the first play, the Cavaliers are on offense with Simmons matched up against Kevin Love. Love executes a handoff with Drummond, setting a strong screen that gives Love a clear window for a three-point shot. However, Love underestimated Simmons' explosiveness and foot speed. Despite being slightly out of position, Simmons leaped from an unconventional defensive angle and successfully blocked the shot. In another play, the Knicks run a half-court set. After a pick-and-roll at the top, Burks draws attention from the 76ers defense, leaving R.J. Barrett wide open in the corner. With the defense collapsing, Barrett receives the pass in an uncontested spot. Just as Barrett releases the three-pointer, Simmons bursts out from behind Embiid, soaring into the air to make a precise block. Aside from his ability to block shots on the perimeter, Simmons is also a terrifying presence near the rim. His quick leaping ability and physical attributes allow him to make strong defensive plays even when opponents are close to the basket. In this play against the Trailblazers, Portland is in a fast break situation. Initially, Simmons does not have an ideal defensive position, but he quickly directs Maxey to contest Lillard while he tracks Anthony Simons. As Simons catches an alley-oop pass from Lillard, Simmons manages to catch up just in time to deliver a perfectly timed block. Of course, shot blocking is just one of the many defensive traits Simmons excels in. His ability to generate steals is also top tier. Simmons possesses an outstanding sense of anticipation, allowing him to read passing lanes and make precise interceptions. Take this play for example. Harden passes the ball to Tyler Johnson. Simmons quickly identifies that Tyler Johnson lacks the ability to create off the dribble, so he anticipates that Johnson will return the ball to Harden. Simmons jumps the passing lane, intercepts the ball before Harden can get to it, and then finishes the play with a dunk in transition. In another play, Simmons is matched up against Wizards rookie Deni Avdija. From the moment Avdija receives the ball, Simmons applies intense defensive pressure. As Avdija attempts to pass the ball, Simmons successfully disrupts the pass. Both Simmons and Bradley Beal race for possession, but Simmons' explosiveness and size give him the edge. He recovers the ball while on the ground, quickly gets to his feet, and spots an open Embiid, assisting him for a three-pointer. This sequence perfectly showcases Simmons' impact on both ends of the court. Finally, let's look at Simmons' one-on-one defense, using his matchup against Jason Tatum as an example. It's important to note that during the 2020-21 season, Tatum averaged 26.4 points per game on 45.9% shooting and earned an all-star selection, but even he struggled when faced with Simmons' defense. In the first play, Tatum calls for a screen from Robert Williams, then quickly moves toward the corner after passing the ball to Williams. However, due to Simmons' long wingspan and defensive disruption, the two Celtics players miscommunicate, resulting in a turnover. Next, Tatum again calls for a screen from Robert Williams. Despite briefly losing position, Simmons' quick footwork allows him to recover and contest Tatum's mid-range jumper, forcing a miss. In another sequence, Tatum initially faces off against Milton, trying to create a scoring opportunity. Simmons, recognizing the danger, immediately doubles Tatum, forcing him to pass to Marcus Smart. Simmons then rapidly rotates to Smart, cutting off his driving lane and causing Smart to commit a turnover. By the end of the game, Tatum had shot just 7 of 17 from the field, and the Celtics committed 20 turnovers as a team. The 76ers won the game comfortably, 106-96. With defensive performances like these, it's no surprise that Simmons confidently declared himself the best defender in the league during interviews. By now, it's clear why, despite Simmons' performance decline in recent seasons due to various issues, the Brooklyn Nets are still willing to show patience with him. A player who is nearly flawless in every aspect except shooting can be highly effective in many different lineups. Take Draymond Green, for example. Even though his overall game has declined in recent years, he remains an indispensable part of the Warriors system. In recent training footage, Simmons is shown actively working to regain his form, and from the pictures he's posted himself, it's evident that he hasn't taken much of a break this offseason. With just over a month until the new season starts, this might very well be Simmons' last chance in his career. If he seizes the opportunity, there will be no shortage of praise from all corners. However, if he fails, it might truly mark the end of his NBA journey.